Hey, my name is John Visco. Again, I'm with Suzbees. Susan, my wife, is the founder of the Suzbees. She had me develop the company or develop this passion for bees over the years, and I've gotten pretty good at it. Prior to this, I was a business owner. I had an upholstery drapery company. I've retired and decided to do bees full time. Susan was a nurse, and she's now doing this full-time. Part-time, full-time. It's a hobby and a business all the same. We have about 40 hives, which change all the time. It could be 30, it could be 42, it could be 45, it could be 31. Bees are very difficult to keep alive in today's world due to pollution, climate loss or climate change, habitat loss. Very difficult to keep them alive. They're also battling something, a mite that came over from Asia in 1987. That mite carries a virus. It's called the Varroa virus on the destructor mite. So those mites infect all of the hives in the country and in the world. And we have to medicate or treat for mites 3 times a year, so that's an expense. So just collecting honey is not what we do. We help the bees survive by treating for mites and helping them survive. Having a small business like this is good for the world bee population, for the population of bees in our country, because we have to buy medications, supplies from a supplier, who in turn also sell to commercial beekeepers who pollinate all of the crops that require that, which are mostly fruit trees and crops, vegetable crops that require pollination. Almonds out in California, and of course oranges, apples, pears, grapes, all of that require pollination by bees. Self-pollinating things like corn and wheat, which is on the interior of the country, don't require pollination. That's self or air pollination. But fruit trees and vegetables, which are mostly around the whole perimeter of our country, around the water areas, are where bees are sent for pollination purposes. Okay, but we don't do that. We're not really big enough for that. So what we do is we supply local honey to everybody. It's raw honey. We like to think of it as without any kind of pollutants in it, anything at all. Just nice, clean, natural honey. When we harvest our honey, we don't use anything else but maybe a cheesecloth to strain it, or just a strainer to strain out the honey and keep it very clean, natural. Any treatments that we use is done March. Honey production starts in late April, ends in late August. We treat again for mites in late August after the honey is completely off the hives. And then we treat again in December before it gets too cold, and then we let them hibernate. They don't really hibernate, but they stay in their hive and come out to poop on warmer days. That's kind of it on the bee thing. We are expanding to another company, to another business. It's called Host a Hive. So we'll be advertising that, I think, on the Chamber's website. And what we're gonna offer a service for local people to have a hive on their property for a cost to help with bees survival. And we go and we'll be, we'll have liability insurance and everything else that's required. We'll keep the bees on people's property. There'll be another beekeeper with me. And we'll be sharing that the honey. Each host will get 20 pounds of honey at the end of the season. and they can give that away as gifts or whatever they want to do with it. So I'm sure there's lots of questions with bees. I'm going to tell you first though, yellow jackets, we all know what yellow jackets are, right? Yellow jackets. They're not bees. They're not bees. They're hornets. Okay, they're hornets, and they're nasty hornets. Hornets eat meat. Hornets eat meat. Honeybees eat nectar and pollen from flowers. There's a big difference, and a big difference in their temperament and how we interact with them. If you get near a growing yellow jacket nest, you pay the price. You get stung because we're big pieces of meat invading their area. That's why we get stung. Honeybees are they're completely different. They're orange and black, and they're furry. Yellow jackets are yellow and black, and they have a hard shell, much smaller and dark round. Honeybees, again, are furry and orange and black. And you could sit next to a honeybee hive all day long. You can read a book, do whatever you want. They could care less. You're in and out. And we're talking about 30 to 50,000 bees right next to you. They could care less. Completely different animal. They're a wild animal. We try to keep them as happy as possible. Any questions? Because I'm sure there's plenty.